Oh, never tasted sweeter. It never tasted sweeter. The tears of Tony Khan and the AEW marks and all those naysayers that didn't believe that he was coming back. And we've got to admit that professional wrestling is by far a better scene when he is in it. It don't matter which company it is. It only matters that CM Punk is a part of professional wrestling. And you've got to thank AEW in part for this. Number one, Tony Khan for firing his ass. Ha! What an idiot. He must be crying over his cereal this morning. Number two, that they actually brought him into the company and rejuvenated his love for professional wrestling and gave him that taste that he wants more. He's hungry for more. And we all are. We want more CM Punk. We didn't get enough CM Punk in AEW. He wasn't treated correctly, in my opinion. He had some great matches, no doubt. Great feud with MJF. But other than that, they didn't really capitalise on him and the money that was left on the table. And people wanted more. We were hungry. He was hungry. And Triple H was cooking up a meal. And what a meal it was. WarGames itself, the Survivor Series WarGames, let's have it right, was a decent show. And I'll get to that in a bit. But we've got to talk about the ending. We've got to talk about thinking the show is all over. He ain't coming. The rumours weren't true. I was about to switch off the show. The watermark was up in the corner. And that usually tells you, I'll see you later. But I thought, wait 1 second. Let's just wait one more second. And then it hit. And oh my days. The pop. I haven't heard anything like it in a while. A long time. Amazing. What an amazing moment. What an amazing way to end Survivor Series. And we are heading onto that road to WrestleMania now. Full steam ahead, baby. Let's go. Let's fucking go. CM Punk has arrived, and just the dream matches that are running through every wrestling fan's head. Every wrestling fan's head now, like AJ Styles versus CM Punk, Finn Balor versus CM Punk, Sami Zayn versus CM Punk, Kevin Owens versus CM Punk, and of course Seth fucking Rollins versus CM Punk. And we all saw the reaction that Seth Rollins had at the arrival of CM Punk. I mean, it was a work. Let's have it right. And Seth is doing brilliant. Brilliant. The way he has sold his hatred for CM Punk. They're probably best mates behind the scenes for all we know. And this has been brilliant the way it's built. From that interview he did when he was in that silly cowboy hat. Telling Phil to stay away. That was a work, guys. That was a work. He was working. Laying the foundations. Because he knew one day, possibly, maybe, CM Punk may return. And if and when that happens, he is ready. And what a time. Seth Rollins has never been more over than now. Never. Oh, you heard him. You heard him. You're hearing him every week. You're seeing every match he's having. He's carrying the company with that world title. Doing what a champion should be doing. And where better for it to end for him against CM Punk at WrestleMania 40, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have it right. Them tears are delicious. But let's talk about WarGames itself, because it was a decent show. I enjoyed it. Can't say I didn't. There were some moments in there that I didn't like. But overall, it was an enjoyable show. And WWE always deliver on their pay-per-views. I much prefer watching the pay-per-views than watching the weekly episodes of Raw, SmackDown, because the majority of it, I'm fast-forwarding through adverts. At least I haven't got to do that here. It's pure professional wrestling, and I'm loving it. That's what I want as a professional wrestling fan. I don't want to have to sit through hours of talking, an hour of adverts to get about 20 minutes of wrestling. I prefer to get my wrestling, and I like it at the pay-per-view. That's why I watch the pay-per-view. That's why I'm reviewing now the pay-per-views. Or the premium live events, whatever they're called now. Because I want to watch professional wrestling. I don't want to watch adverts. I don't want to watch people standing there talking for an hour. No. This was a good show. Starts off with a WarGames. Now, this is where I'm a bit iffy. Now, I know people are going to say, well, the men get a WarGames match. Why can't the women have a WarGames match? It's not fair. This is why, man. And to be honest with you, if you're judgmental, to be honest with you, well, the women's WarGames match was slightly better. To be honest with you, it was more entertaining. I mean, you had Iyo Sky diving off the top of the cave with a bin on her head. The loon. What's she on? And who doesn't mind seeing Kairi Sane on your screen? I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen, come on. Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, very good. Bianca Belair, very talented. What's not to love? Yeah, there was not really a story there. The story was more what was going to happen to Bayley. Bayley was the story. Bayley is the story going forward. Bayley was the story going into this. With the Joshi girls all getting together now. And look like they're forming the faction now. Damage CTRL looks like it could be no more. Asuka, Kairi, and Iyo all together. Bayley took the loss here. So what is that telling you? What's going to happen next? See you later, Bayley. Maybe a babyface turn back for Bayley. Maybe next year it's the Four Horsewomen minus Sasha Banks, of course, who's God knows where. Never know. You never know. Never say never, because look what just happened. So you never know. You never know. Could happen. Stranger things. Stranger things have already happened. Dustin and them lot there, you know what I'm saying? Stranger things. But overall, enjoyable match. Right team probably won in the good guys. The only problem I had with this match, why are you giving the baby faces the advantage? It never fucking works. Never. And it didn't here. It looked ridiculous. The Damage CTRL needed the upper hand at times. Because look at the size of these Joshi girls compared to Bianca, Charlotte, Becky. I mean, Shotzi, alright, yeah, but the rest of them, they're tiny. How can you believe that 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, they can actually handle themselves? It's not believable. It's not. So they needed an advantage. They're the ones that should have had the advantage. Absolutely ridiculous. Made the match stupid. Other than that, there were some good spots in this match that I enjoyed. But that really ruined it for me. Really did. But, like I said, this may have been a better one than the men's WarGames. And we'll get to that in a bit and the reasons why I felt it might have been better. Because next up, we've got Gunther versus The Miz. Alright. Yeah, alright. Miz is like 9-time Intercontinental Champion. And they're trying to sell like he's actually got a chance against Gunther. Behave. He's been a clown for the last 10 years. Absolute joke of a professional wrestler. Let's have it right. There's no way he's taking that title off of Gunther. There would have been riots in Chicago, riots in Austria, riots in Germany, riots in the UK, riots across all of Europe if Gunther had dropped the title. No way. Weren't happening. It was just a match that you're probably going to see on Raw again. They'll probably repeat it in a week or so. It was just a Raw match. It was good. Miz put on a good show. But at no point did I think, yeah, Miz is going to win this match. No. It ain't happening. Not the run Gunther's been on. The way they've been building him up. You really think they're going to do all of that? All of that? Oh, the whole year they've been building plus. And more. The time they spent building him up. They're going to give all that away for The Miz. Behave. Go touch grass if you felt The Miz was going to win at any point. You numpties. Anyway, my match was what it was. Was what it was. Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee. I like the story and I like what they're doing with Santos Escobar, but again, you're not going to have him lose straight out the bat after a heel turn, are you? That would be flaming ridiculous. Flaming ridiculous. Decent match. Both guys really talented. Good lucha match. Not a bad match to have on the show. Filled out the card, I suppose. What I would have liked to have seen is some Survivor Series matches. Where were they? What's wrong with having some of them in there? Getting more people on the card, getting more people introduced, getting more people over, creating more rivalries. Do you know what I mean? What is wrong with that? Why couldn't that have happened? But no. We get Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark. And yet again, of everything they put into Rhea Ripley, you really think she's dropping the title here to Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark's been in the WWE on the main roster for a minute. Maybe less. She ain't taking the title off of Rhea Ripley. Behave. Simple match. And another match you're going to see on a Monday Night Raw. Really was. There was nothing to it. Then we move to the WarGames. And it starts off pretty decent. Like the story heading into this, Randy Orton, is he going to turn up? Is he not? Who knows? Of course he's going to be there. But we didn't know. He wasn't in the cage at the beginning. The little shark cage at the entrance. He weren't there. So, yeah, we had the other guys had to fight on against the Judgment Day and Drew. And, yeah, right team had the advantage, the heels this time, so that made sense. And I liked the way the match was going, and it was building, and you were waiting for Randy Orton to turn up. Everyone came in, same sort of thing. We'll say this, far too many weapons in both WarGames matches. Far too many. Men had a few less, I do believe, I think. But, yeah, I don't like all the weapons in there. It's just more gimmicks on top of more gimmicks on top of more gimmicks. You're just piling it all on, and it's just too much. There's just too much in there. Sensory overload. So, yeah, no, it wasn't for me. Don't like all the weapons in there. The cage is a weapon itself, and use it as a weapon. It's supposed to keep the weapons out, the other weapons out. It's supposed to keep the other people out. That's the idea of the WarGames. Anyway, yeah, it was building nicely. Very violent. No blood at all, which, again, of course, we're not going to get that in the WWE unless it's an accident, really. Unless someone, like, they're mean to, like, not mean to do it, and, yeah, someone gets hard weighed. We're not going to really see any blood in the WarGames, which is a shame, because that adds to it, in my opinion. It does. Come on. You can't deny it. Anyway, was what it was. Decent match. Decent WarGames. Not the best, not the worst. And then out comes Randall Keith Orton. Oh, Randall. Randy Bo Bandy. Here he comes. Oh, Bo Bandy. Why did you come back, man? Got in the ring, didn't bump once, hit a couple of his vintage moves. Vintage Orton. Michael Cole, loving it. He was loving it. Vintage Orton. And then, yeah, hits an RKO off. They throw someone off the top of the cage. I think it was JD, wasn't it? Yeah, he got an RKO. They beat him down. Babyfaces beat down the heels, and then they win the match out of nowhere. And that was it. It's kind of a flat finish. I was like, oh, that it? Are we done? Okay. See you later. And then, of course, CM Punk, ladies and gentlemen. That was the end. And this is the end of the review. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Stay safe. Stay lucky. Let me know what you think down below. And as always, like, comment and subscribe. Thank you very much. See you next time. Peace.